Greetings, my friends. Thank you for watching this video, and if you would be so kind, please subscribe if you like what you see. Help our channel to keep growing and keep fighting the war to save pop culture. Together, we can end this destructive conflict and bring order to the galaxy. Enjoy, and thanks. I loathe Star Trek Discovery and Star Trek Picard more than words can say, though I've been trying to find the right words on this channel for over 4 years now. STD is quite simply the worst thing ever presented on television, and Star Trek Picard, through its abuse of Jean-Luc Picard, has rendered the next generation nigh unto unwatchable now. It's impossible to look at Picard the same way after watching him snivel, grovel, dodder, and apologize for what feels like an infinite number of endless episodes. There can be no doubt whatsoever that Kurtzman and Suckrit Snideout have severely damaged the Star Trek legend. More likely than not, this damage is permanent, hideous, and entirely self-inflicted. Viacom CBS or Paramount Global, or whatever name they're hiding behind now, to try and throw people off the trail and pretend that their colossal failures didn't happen, has allowed a vandal with no love of the franchise and no discernible talent to come into their universe and utterly destroy it. Indeed, today, Paramount Minus is trying to pretend that the Star Trek universe didn't come to an end in Picard Season 1, but it did. Evil, hyper-advanced AI from another dimension came and wiped out all life in the Star Trek universe. Though they pretend it didn't happen, their incompetence made it absolutely certain that it did happen because there's no other logical outcome to what they set up with their scripts. Anything that follows now is simply fan fiction of the worst kind, for surely there's nothing worse than fan fiction written by someone who isn't a fan. All that said, as we stand over the grave of Star Trek, it's vital that we set the record straight for posterity, and on change.org, someone is trying to do just that, to make sure that history never forgets the name Enterprise, the true name of Star Trek. There is currently a petition up on change.org. Its goal? To get Paramount Minus to declare Kurtzman Trek non-canon, to try and salvage, if not Star Trek's life, then at least its reputation. True, the Kurtzman tumor killed the patient, but at the very least, that lump of vile diseased tissue should not itself bear the name of the patient it killed. After all, when a dog takes a dump on the lawn, you don't name the turd Fido. And the shitty tumor that Kurtzman grew inside the patient should not be called Star Trek. To that end, I'm going to share with you what this petition says, and I'm going to ask everyone who watches this video and cares about Star Trek to sign it. The link to it will be in the video description. Imagine if this petition blows up. If it gets a ton of signatures, what will be the result? It will reveal to Paramount Global Catastrophe stockholders just how many fans loathe what has been done to Star Trek. I think this is an excellent way to send a clear message to these bubble-headed boobies that this is not my Star Trek. And here's what the petition says. My fellow Trekkies and Trekkers, as you are probably aware, we have entered a new era of Star Trek, if one could call it that. New Trek, or Star Trek Discovery and Picard, I'm not considering Lower Decks because it's meant to be a joke, blatantly disregard Gene Roddenberry's vision for a utopian, moral, and optimistic future. Star Trek Discovery betrays the principles upon which Star Trek was based. In the past, we've seen Kirk and Picard always offer a helping hand, even to those who would be considered enemies. And when they each had their own prejudices, Kirk's racism against the Klingons for his son's death and Picard's hatred of the Borg for his assimilation, they learned that hatred and violence were wrong. They both disregarded their own plots of revenge because in the future, humans are taught to resist prejudice and to honor life. In Discovery, we see protagonists sadistically torture, call crew members who have died idiots, and belittle others who are below them in rank. In Star Trek Picard, we see sexism in the name of female empowerment. We see addiction glorified, poverty present, and bigotry on behalf of Starfleet. We also see a disrespect for the dead. And I haven't even touched upon Alex Kurtzman's eye torture fetish he keeps throwing in. And I haven't even gone over the blatant disregard for pre-established canon and the abysmal story writing. This man, Alex Kurtzman, and his work are a waste of our time. If you are a true Star Trek fan, you don't approve of this. You're gatekeeping! Yes, I am. Can you look at this new Star Trek and the examples I've given and say that it aligns with Gene Roddenberry's vision? No, you can't. Don't even try. What will this petition do? Probably nothing. But if we get enough signatures, if we really blow this up, we can send a message that this is not the future we want or stand for. If we come together as a community and deny these works canonical status, we can save the message of our franchise. Star Trek is supposed to be a beacon of hope. Now it's just like any other show. Pointless violence and bigotry. Especially now, people need hope. People need Star Trek now more than ever because they need a reminder of what we can accomplish. They need a reminder of what humanity can become if we try. We're losing sight of that utopian future, and we need to get it back. We need to show that it's possible. We need to deny these new messages because they do not match our hope for the future. We need to deny people like Alex Kurtzman the right to tamper with our franchise and its vision. If anything, we need to make a statement, not to be dramatic, but that's just how I feel about it. So say we all, Anna G. So say we all. Noble sentiments, well expressed from someone who loves Star Trek just as we do. Anna G. was much more polite about it than I am. There's no way to capture in mere words just how repugnant this pseudo-Trek is. The horrible problem with it, it's not merely that it's terrible Trek, completely antithetical to everything Gene Roddenberry stood for. The greatest problem with Star Trek Discovery and Picard is they're so badly written, so stupidly plotted, with such utter disregard not merely for science but also rational thought. The mere existence of these shows is an insult to viewers, an insult to fans, an insult to humanity. Essentially, by releasing substandard shit like this, Paramount Minus is saying, fuck you, you're all morons, and you'll happily gobble up any dreck we shovel into your troughs, you stupid little piggies. And sadly, there are a small number of cretins out there who do just that. Buy into this perverted bizarro Trek, their minds so stunted, their intellects so badly damaged, they can't see the inherent contradictions in every plot, the insipid characters, the plot holes wide enough to drive a fleet of starships through. They're the kind of empty consumer morons that Paramount Minus hopes to cultivate moving forward, which is the reason I want nothing to do with Paramount Global Plague moving forward. Any corporation that cares so little for their viewers, they'll continually insult them to their faces, calling them morons by default for being dumb enough to watch programming so dumb that bags of hammers look down on it. No thank you. In fact, fuck you, Paramount Global Waste. What you've done to Star Trek, what you've done to fans, what you've done to logic and reason and the human spirit is unforgivable, and I will never forgive you for lowering standards around the world and treating all of us like we're as stupid as you are. So, my friends, please sign this petition. I have placed the link to this petition in the video description, and I urge you to go to change.org and sign it. Forward this information to everyone you know on social media. Share this video to help inform people as to what's at stake, and let's make damn sure that we send a clear message to Paramount Minus that without respect, we reject. And there's nothing whatsoever respectful about what has been done to one of our treasured modern myths, that shining beacon on the hill we all once hailed as Star Trek. I urge everyone who loves real, honest Star Trek to sign the petition, close your wallets to Paramount Minus, cancel your subscription if you ever had one, and resist this cultural vandalization of our great geek mythology to your last breath. From the center of the earth, this is Dictor Van Doomcock bidding you all, my friends, stay angry. Ha 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 ha.